Dear students, in this class, we are going to discuss the concept of wave propagation in conductors. Already we have seen the wave propagation in free space medium, which is nothing but the lossless medium of sigma is equal to 0. And coming to the wave propagation in the conductors, you know the wave equation in the conducting medium is given by, del square E is equal to gamma square E. And here gamma is nothing but the propagation constant. So what is gamma? Gamma is equal to root of j omega mu into sigma plus j omega epsilon. And the unit of gamma is nothing but 1 by meter. That means meter inverse. And you know, this propagation constant gamma is nothing but the combination of your attenuation constant as well as phase shift constant. That's why it is equal to alpha plus j beta. So what is alpha here? Alpha is nothing but the real part of this gamma, and beta is nothing but the imaginary part of this gamma. So coming for this units of alpha and beta, it is alpha is called attenuation constant, means it is Napier's per meter, whereas beta is nothing but phase shift constant, radians per meter. So after splitting this into real part and imaginary part, just by doing some mathematical manipulations, which is already given in the last classes, you can remember alpha is equal to omega root mu epsilon by 2 into root of 1 plus sigma square by omega square epsilon square minus 1 Napier's per meter. Remember friends, units are very important. Napier's per meter. Coming for the beta, the only change is instead of minus 1, you have to write down the plus 1. So that's why beta is equal to, means phase shift constant is equal to omega root mu epsilon by 2 into root of 1 plus sigma square by omega square epsilon square plus 1. This is in radians per meter. So remember friends, these are the generalized equations for alpha and beta which can be applied for any type of the medium. So for example, already you know the alpha and beta for the free space, right? So what is the definition of the free space? Sigma is equal to 0. So if you put sigma is equal to 0 here, it becomes sigma 0 divided by anything is 0. So therefore 1 minus 1 is 0. So alpha is equal to 0, which is already known to you. So for free space, alpha is equal to 0. That means there is no attenuation. That means even though the signal is going for an infinite distance in the free space, its alpha is equal to 0. But whereas beta is existing, beta how much it is existing? 0 by anything is equal to 0, root of 1 plus 1 root 2, that means you can say that this is equal to omega root mu epsilon. So beta is equal to omega root mu epsilon, you are going to get it, 2 and 2 will be cancelled here. So which is the known equation for the free space here. So I would like to tell you, if you remember alpha and beta, the generalized equations here, then that can be applied for any type of the medium. So now coming to this wave propagation in conductors, you know the wave equation is del square E is equal to gamma square E. Okay. So writing this, del square E is equal to gamma square E, and del square E as usual it is covering in 3 directions. That means you can expand here, dou square E by dou x square plus dou square E by dou y square plus dou square E by dou z square is equal to gamma square E. And already you know, this del square is actually telling about the waves in 3 directions, x, y and z. Tackling in 3 directions is a difficult issue. That's why I am assuming that my wave is propagating in x direction. That's why you can neglect and you can say it should be independent of y and z. That's why I can write down here dou square E by dou x square is equal to gamma square E. That means I am considering the UPW in x direction. This is called UPW, means uniform plane wave in x direction. So as it is a second order equation, it is representing a wave. Wave means it is a mechanism of transporting the energy from one place to the other place like this. It will be having two unknowns. It is a second order equation. That's why it will be having a transmitted wave or receiving wave. So for my discussion, I am considering only one wave at present. That's why I can write down equation here. So E of x is equal to some initial magnitude E naught into e to the power of minus gamma x. So what is gamma here? It is nothing but a propagation constant. So gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta. This is nothing but the gamma. So substituting this gamma here, I can say E of x is equal to some E naught into e to the power of minus alpha plus j beta into x. This is nothing but the equation of an electric field which is varying with respect to the distance x. But remember friends, what is a wave? Wave is a function of both distance and time. That means I have to incorporate the time variation here. So how to incorporate the time variation? That means you multiply this with e power j omega t and take the real part of it. That is nothing but the procedure of incorporating the time variation here. Therefore, by writing this electric field variation, that means for the time varying field, then I can write like this. E cap of x comma t is equal to, that means I am incorporating the time variation here, is equal to, and E naught is the magnitude, okay. Take the real part of this term, this is nothing but e to the power of minus alpha x into e to the power of minus j beta x into and e power j omega t like this. That means for the time variation, what is the rule? You have to multiply each and everything with e power j omega t and take the real part of, because we are always considering the positive times. So what is the equation here? E cap of x comma t is equal to, that means a wave which is a function of distance and time is equal to some E naught into e to the power of minus alpha x is also you can take out and take the real part of e to the power of minus j into omega t minus beta x. This is. So you know what is e power j theta? Cos theta plus j sin theta. So from the mathematics, cos theta plus j sin theta is equal to e power j theta, right? So what is the real part of it? Cos theta. That means you have to write down the cos component here. That's why you can say E cap of x comma t is equal to E naught into e to the power of minus alpha x into real part of this one is cos of omega t minus beta x. What is the unit here? Volt per meter. That means if you see this clearly, it is telling that the wave is propagating in which direction? X direction, because initially our assumption is the wave is propagating in x direction. That's why E cap of x comma t is equal to E naught into e to the power of minus alpha x cos of omega t minus beta x volt per meter. Now what is your observation here? The observation is very simple. Whenever the wave is propagating in x direction, its magnitude is not E naught. Its magnitude goes on decreasing because it is multiplied by the factor e to the power of minus alpha x. That means, suppose if you see this interpretation here, this is. Now, let me say this is at x is equal to 0. Okay. If it is at x is equal to 0, that means e to the power of 0, it is 1, means its amplitude is E naught. I already told you, the constants are always telling about the amplitude of the wave. In the free space class also I told you, C1 and C2 are the amplitudes of the waves. If C1 is equal to C2, it is a standing wave. I already told you. But here you can say E naught is nothing but the amplitude of the wave. So at x is equal to 0 means at the sending point here, ekkadi nunchi nenu pampistunnatuvanti point at x is equal to 0, the amplitude is E naught. That means maximum amplitude is coming like this. And whenever the wave is traveling in the distance x like this, it is multiplied by e to the power of minus alpha x. What is alpha here? Attenuation. That means it is having an attenuation here. Its amplitude goes on decreasing like this. That means if you are taking a sine wave like this is the wave. The wave slowly decreasing in amplitudes like this. That means whatever the variation I am observing here, it is nothing but your e to the power of minus alpha x. That means initially it is having an amplitude of E naught, but its amplitude goes on decreasing with respect to distance, because E naught is multiplied by e to the power of minus alpha x. But if you just compare this with your wave in free space, it is not happening there, because alpha is equal to 0. So alpha is equal to 0 means there is no question of attenuation in the free space. If you see the same sketch in the free space, and you can say the wave is always constant, that means it is maintaining the same value forever. That means its amplitude is always E naught. This is nothing but E naught. Because in the free space you have seen E cap of x comma t is equal to some C1 into cos of omega t minus beta x plus some C2 into cos of omega t plus beta x. But you have not observed the presence of e to the power of minus alpha x. So e to the power of minus alpha x is telling whenever the wave is propagating, its amplitude goes on decreasing like this. So what is alpha? Alpha is nothing but the attenuation constant. Attenuation means very simple, reduction in the signal strength. When it is coming to the picture, whenever our medium is not free space, whenever the medium is having some conductivity. So when it will be having conductivity? Whenever it is raining, whenever the fog is there, and whenever the atmosphere is not clear, and you can see the presence of conducting medium is there. So that's the reason finally I can say, my dear friends, whenever the wave is propagating in the conducting medium, its amplitude goes on decreasing like this. That means the presence of alpha is there. So this is the way of understanding the wave propagation in conductors. Now, if you take this medium, sometimes we are not in a position to define the medium. So at that time, we have to differentiate the conductors and the dielectrics by taking the concept of loss tangent. Loss tangent means it is nothing but the ratio of conduction current to displacement current density. So now I would like to discuss how to differentiate conductors and insulators. Up to now, we have seen the wave propagation in conductors, and we observed that there is the presence of alpha, which is nothing but the attenuation constant. That means whenever the wave is propagating in a conducting medium, and its amplitude goes on decreasing because it is multiplied by e to the power of minus alpha x. But sometimes it is our duty to identify which medium it is. That means we have to define which is a good conductor and which is a good dielectric also, because we are not going to see the ideal values here. We cannot see the ideal conductor means sigma is equal to infinity. Ideal dielectric means sigma is equal to 0. But always we are having the practical values. Just like, suppose if you take this class, I cannot find a good ideal student or otherwise ideal faculty members, but I can see good students and good faculty members because they are practical values. Exactly, in order to identify the good conductors and good dielectrics, and let us define them by taking the Maxwell's equation, that is nothing but the modified form of Ampere circuital law, which is nothing but del cross H is equal to J plus D dot. That means it is equal to J plus epsilon times E dot. Okay. And del cross H is equal to J plus D dot means what is this J? J is nothing but you can say that it is a conduction current density. Then I can say that del cross H is equal to sigma E, J means sigma E plus sigma times epsilon times E dot. What is E dot? Dou E by dou T. Dou E by dou T means partial differentiation with respect to time. So what you have to do? Epsilon into dou E by dou T. Dou by dou T is nothing but j omega. That means wherever there is a partial derivative, it should be multiplied with j omega. Then what happens here? J omega epsilon times E. And the first term is called as conduction current density Jc. And the second term is nothing but displacement current density Jd, and which is actually introduced by our Maxwell. Because there are two types of current densities, conduction current density and displacement current density. If you take the ratio of these two and considering only magnitudes, then I can say Jc by Jd, and considering only magnitudes here, then you can say this is sigma E divided by omega epsilon times E. I am neglecting this J. Why? J is telling about the phase angle. I want only magnitude. And E and E will be cancelled here. And this is equal to sigma divided by omega epsilon. So the sigma by omega epsilon is nothing but your loss tangent. This can be called as loss tangent. So loss tangent is also called as, okay, it is also called as dissipation factor of dielectric. Dissipation factor of dielectric material. This is called dissipation factor of dielectric. Frankly speaking, the dissipation should be 0, because for an ideal dielectric sigma is equal to 0, and the presence of sigma is indicating how much power can be dissipated by a dielectric material. Indirectly it is telling about the purity of the dielectric material. For the free space, if it is really a free space, sigma is equal to 0, there is no dissipation at all. So it is also called as the loss tangent. So this loss tangent is actually telling which medium it is. That means based on the sigma by omega epsilon, which is called as the loss tangent and which is also called as tan theta. So this tan theta is actually deciding whether the medium is good conductor or good dielectric. So coming for the classification here, now I am actually dividing this medium into conductors and insulators. Insulators means you can say dielectric materials. Insulators are also called as dielectrics. So what is the demarcation line I am taking? Sigma by omega epsilon. So I am taking here sigma by omega epsilon as a demarcation line here. That means a line which is separating your conductors and insulators. If sigma by omega epsilon is very greater than 1, that means very greater than 1 means if you take your copper or silver, it will be around 3 into 10 to the power of 8. Very big values. If it is very greater than 1, I can say it is a good conductor. So this can be called as a good conductor. And sigma by omega epsilon is very less than 1. It is very less than 1. It is called as good dielectrics. That means good conductors and good dielectrics are separated by the demarcation line sigma by omega epsilon. In between, this is the line actually separating these two. If sigma by omega epsilon is equal to 1, that means at the boundary, sigma by omega epsilon is equal to 1 means we cannot say whether the medium is good conductors or good dielectrics. So the definition what I am telling is good conductors and good dielectrics are separated by the value sigma by omega epsilon. Just if the medium is not given in your problems and you calculate sigma by omega epsilon first. If sigma by omega epsilon is very greater than 1, then consider that it is a good conductors. If it is very less than 1, you consider that it is a good dielectrics. That means using this loss tangent or dissipation factor of the dielectric, and you are going to classify the materials into either good conductors or good dielectrics. So sigma by omega epsilon is greater than 1 means it is good conductors. And if it is sigma by omega epsilon is very less than 1 means it is good dielectrics, means good insulators. And remember friends, once again, here dissipation factor of the dielectric is nothing but your tan theta. Whenever you are seeing the smaller values of D, your power factor and dissipation factor is same for the dielectric materials. That means for the lower values, the power factor of the dielectric is equal to actually sin phi, okay. But power factor is same as the dissipation factor of the dielectric for smaller values of d. అంటే dissipation కనుక చాలా తక్కువ ఉంటే dissipation factor is almost equal to the power factor of the dielectric. Therefore, I can say sin phi is equal to d. Sin phi is equal to d. D means dissipation factor of the dielectric. Then what is the phase angle? I can say phi is equal to sin inverse d. D means dissipation factor of the dielectric. So, practically what I am telling is, your dissipation factor of the dielectric is telling about the purity of the dielectric material. If the dielectric material is perfect, means sigma must be equal to 0. And that is the reason for your free space sigma is equal to 0. It is an ideal dielectric, perfect dielectric. But is it possible? Practically, no. We cannot see it practically. We can see good dielectric, means smallest value of sigma may be present. And exactly like that, can you see an ideal conductor? Ideal conductor means sigma is equal to infinity. That is also not possible. Idealism is impossible. That is nothing but actually it is an illusion, oka Brahma. So that's the reason what I am telling is, please try to understand that your mediums are not so accurate and ideal mediums are not possible. That is the reason you can approximate the mediums like good conductors and good insulators. So now I would like to tell you why it is called loss tangent. Because if it is nothing but the ratio of conduction current to displacement current density. Okay. So just here I would like to explain what exactly it is. Now, if you take this conduction current and displacement current, and conduction current is, once again for clarity I am writing here, del cross E is equal to sigma E plus j omega epsilon times E. So this is called conduction current JC and this is called displacement current JD. And this conduction current and displacement currents are displaced by how many degrees? The phase angle 90 degrees. That means you can say 90 degrees. This displacement current density generally it will be observed when the best example is capacitor. Whatever the current that is actually existing in the capacitor is nothing but your displacement current density. So displacement current density is leading the conduction current density by how many degrees? 90 degrees. That's why, can I go for the vector diagram? So you can say this is JD. This is JD, and at an angle of 90 degrees, it is called as JC, and this will be 90 degrees here. The resultant will be is nothing but your J here. That means if you just form this parallel diagram like this, and this is nothing but the theta. So JC means it is sigma E, opposite one is also sigma E. Okay, this is J omega epsilon times E. And this is also j omega epsilon times E. So from this diagram, what is tan theta? Tan theta is equal to, I can say tan theta is equal to opposite by adjacent. What is opposite? Sigma EV. What is its adjacent? Omega epsilon times E. Because J is nothing but a phase angle of 90 degrees is already taken care of. Ancheti renditi madhya 90 degrees angle uncham. That's the reason we have put the 90 degrees angle here. So that's why tan theta is equal to sigma E by omega epsilon times E, and will be cancelled. Therefore, sigma by omega epsilon. This is called as loss tangent. This is the loss tangent. That's why I can tell you, for classifying the medium into good conductors and good dielectrics, initially you have to calculate sigma by omega epsilon. And listen here, sigma by omega epsilon means, what does it mean? Sigma means conductivity and epsilon means permittivity. And I already told you in the previous classes, a medium is characterized by three parameters, epsilon, mu and sigma. Based on these values, you can say which medium it is, whether the medium is free space, whether the medium is ideal conducting medium, or otherwise it is a good conductor or good dielectric, because in the next classes we are going to see the wave propagation in all the mediums. So what is a good conductor? Sigma by omega epsilon is very, very greater than 1. So whatever the medium it may be, always we are interested to calculate the value of alpha attenuation constant and beta phase shift constant, gamma propagation constant, and velocity of electromagnetic wave V, and eta intrinsic impedance, and skin depth delta. These parameters are very, very important for every medium. And after discussing all the mediums, let me compare all these parameters for all the mediums at the single place. Okay? I think you have followed this discussion, and in the next class we are going to discuss the estimation of these wave parameters like alpha, beta, gamma, velocity, eta, delta for the good conductors. What is a good conductor? We are going to take the approximation sigma by omega epsilon is very, very greater than 1. Okay? Thank you.